G'day viewers, how you doing? It's time to learn to drive the SD70ACE, which we get from Cahoon Pass. And we're going to run it on the San Bernardino route. Have you got the Cahoon? Let's get in through the doors here, always a bit tricky. Quick slash, oh yeah, Matt said we can't use the toilet. Alright. First thing I'm going to do is sit down, which helps us take position of the train. Excuse my hiccups. Put in our reversal lever, put it into forwards, knock our engine run. Whoops, engine run. Let's just zoom in a bit. Generator field and fuel pump on. This is an older locomotive, so it doesn't come set up the way you would expect it to. Set our headlights to bright aux and lights. I'll open up the back panel here. There's only one switch we care about. It's this one, cab signal fuse, which turns on the alerter safety system. You don't really need to do anything about anything else up the back there because the engine will already be running. Now, if this were a service where you had distributed power units, you would turn on banking comm, but we don't actually need it for this one. Alright, let's have a look at our views screen now. So we may need to do some setup. Let's have a look under more options. Operator controls. And we can see that air brake setup is in trail. So we need to do air brake lead. So that sets us up for the independent brake. And we're going to cut it in. So that'll start pumping up the train pipe. Come out of there now. We're back in the main screen. I might make that just a tad brighter. Make it a bit easier to read too. Alright, so we'll come out of that screen. I just clicked on the screen to get right into it, by the way. What it wants us to do is do some uncoupling. So first up, I'm going to apply the independent, and I'm going to release the train brake. And normally, a driver wouldn't actually do this. A driver would not go and uncouple. This bloke would. But as you'll discover, he's a bit lazy. He just sits there, doesn't do a thing. He thinks about doing a thing occasionally, but then he gets to the point where he goes, "No, I don't want to." Now, we'll show you one trick before we go and do it, and that's how to get across. So you open both chains and go over. And of course you should, for safety's sake, close the chains afterwards. There we go. Just thought I'd show you that because it can be handy to get to the other locomotives sometimes. We're going to come down here and uncouple from our consist, which of course the people on the ground have quite happily been putting handbrakes and stuff on, so it doesn't roll away when we uncouple it. You don't need to do much for uncoupling in this game. Most of it's automated. Can I go up here? Yes, I can. E to climb up the stairs. Come back in through the door. Close the door because it's loud out there. And sit down in the chair. Whew, that was a bit disconcerting. Alright, now we need to go to the San Bernardino engine tie facility. Let's see what that really is. Engine tie-up 0130. Alright, now first thing I want to do is hop into the map because I want to look at our path. And we can see the first switch is set for us. That's fine. Next one is set. The one after that can't be because there's a train in it. And then there's one up here which we can set, but we can't set the other one because there's a train in it. We'll have to come back to that. And then we can go on to there. So we can start moving even though we know there's a train in the way. So what I did then, I should have talked you through that. I released the independent brake, this lever here, and I notched up to notch 2, and I'm going to go back to idle now because I know we are very fast approaching another train. It would be a little bit rude to run into its side. So we'll just get some braking going on now. I'm just using the independent brake. There's no need to use the train brake on such a short consist. One of the really cool things about this route is the degree of interactivity you have with other AI trains in freight. They get in your way, you get in their way sometimes, and you could really tie yourself up in a bit of a mess. I actually like that. This is the first route that's like that, and I really appreciate it. So while we're waiting, look at some of the other things in the cab. There are sun visors, should you wish to put them down. Same on the other side. There is a cab light you can turn on and off if it's dark. You have wiper controls up here. You can open the windows. A lot of players open the windows because it brings in a bit of the noise from outside. Excuse me. If you're looking at the screens, you see our equalizing reservoir is at 90 pounds. Brake pipe is also at 90 pounds. The main's at 131. Brake cylinder is currently at 72 because we're fully applied. And in the rear of the train, we've got 90 pounds. The rear of our train is here. It's the locomotive. So that's how it knows. Now, if it was another service train, and we'll see one here, good timing, that's a Fred, that thing on the back there. So that's what's telling the driver the poundage on the back. You can hear our bell still dinging away here because there's not much else we can do. We just sit here going ding, 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 ding. Anyway, he's almost out of the way now, so we could go and change the points behind him as he goes through, or we can just use the map. So you can hop out of the thing and you can go for a walk if you want to, which would be fine, but we can set these now. So let's set this one. Once he's well clear, about now. And then once he's clear of this one, we'll be able to set this one as well. Rate's quick. I can hear something else coming now. Pop out of the map and see. Oh, there it is, over there. Cool bananas. He's not going to get in our way, though. And the other one's out of our way now, so we can change those points. We may have to go and get on the ground to change those ones, actually. Oh, there we go. They're active now. They were controlled by the AI before, so I couldn't touch them. Then when it changed into this dot, that meant I was actually able to get hold of it. Interestingly, when they're controlled by the AI, you can actually change them on the ground, which really makes a bit of a mess. American train drivers would run their bell for the entire time during the yard, but it is annoying, so I'll turn it off. We do have a very sad 10-mile-an-hour limit through the yard here. There are trains moving everywhere in here. So in reality, all of these people would be in contact with the yard dispatcher, who would be authorising their moves. And each of the drivers or engineers would be cognizant of the other movements around them and keeping a bit of an eye on things. Not to get in too much trouble for a mile over the limit. Much more than that, though. You might be having a coffee and biscuits conversation with the boss. Now we're supposed to go into the track directly behind this set here, which is what we've set up. This red, yellow and green marker on the ground shows you where you need to stop. I usually turn that off. It's Control 7 to turn that on and off. But just for the purposes of tutorials, I've got it on. You can also have the destination marker, which is Control 1, should you want it, which can help you find things if you're not quite sure where to go. I normally turn that one off, but there are some places that the movements are just so complex, it's actually hard to figure out where you're going to go, and I just pop it on. Bear in mind the distances that it shows you. It's direct as the crow would fly, so it's not the actual track distance. That could really play with your head on the curly routes. It says that, you know, the next station's half a mile away or half a kilometre away. And it's actually 20 because, yeah, it's right next to you, but you've got to go whoop, 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 and then get back there. A little bit more. The stopping points are a little bit finicky in some parts of the game because of what's going on around you, and you need to be well and truly clear, just like they do on a real railway. So this is called getting into the clear or not being foul. Nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. There we go. That'll do fine. All done. Okay, now I'm just going to return to free roam here because we want to shut it down. So you remember there were 3 switches off? That's not prototypical. You would only turn off the gen field. Bring your reverser back to the neutral position. We turn off our headlights front, sorry, these ones. Now brake into the handle off position and then come down to the screen. Go into more options, operator control, and we cut out the air brake and set it to trail. So that just lets everything know that we have finished with this one, and if someone comes in behind us and cuts it in, it will be fine, and that'll be part of their consist. The next driver would come in and set it up the way they need to set it up. Alrighty, that's about it for this tutorial. If it's been helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. If you've got any questions or comments, chuck them down below and I'll see what I can do to help you out. There's a whole lot of other Train Sim World 5 tutorials in the playlist that this one's in. Alrighty, have fun folks, and see you later. Bye.
We played a game.